Today we are going to talk about entry level data jobs, which apparently require 2 to 5 years of experience, a PhD degree, Gen AI, Agentic AI, DevOps, Cloud, NLP, computer vision, and the ability to time travel. And no, I'm not exaggerating. These are some real job descriptions. At this point, I'm not sure if companies want a data scientist or an entire data department in one human body. I didn't want this to be a rant video. So I have invited some of my data friends actually working in analytics and data science to roast this together. Let's start. Hi Rakshit. Hi Varun. We'll just ask you guys for your brief introduction. Yes, Rakshit.
Yeah.
Hey, hi guys. Myself Rakshit. I have 3 years of experience, majorly in the consumer tech, currently working as an analytics engineer at Zomato.
Yeah. So, hey guys, Varun here, and I have like 6 years of experience working in data science. It involves working with different techs, different sides like product, consulting, currently in pre-sales. So, currently I'm part of IBM. So, yeah, prior then I have worked with Pfizer, HDFC Bank, Fractal. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
all about me.
that's a long list of experience. Okay. So, what happens in the market right now? Whenever you need to get a job, it's very simple that some HRs or a company post a job a description that is in simple words called a JD. Okay. People apply to it, and if they are fit to the role, the company calls them for interview and all. So, that used to happen a long time ago. Right now, things are a bit difficult. Okay. Now what happens that to do an internship, okay, you don't just need a college degree, you need a 5 years of experience as well. Now why saying this, let's try to look out some of the job descriptions and try to find out. So we have this data science internship job description. This was picked from LinkedIn some 2 3
Mhm.
months ago. Okay, so I will just try to read these things in short. 2 years of experience for an internship. Okay, scripting languages, Python or statistical mathematical software, R, SAS, MATLAB, etc. Okay, so Python are these are normal things, right? Then you have a deep understanding of statistics and machine learning. That is fine for a entry level also. Optimization, other advanced analytical models, and how to apply real world problems. Okay, now there is one sentence written here. Friends glaze over because you cannot stop talking about them over dinner.
That's Uh, okay, so they are just trying to tell how kind of a friendly or growing an atmosphere you will be experiencing in the company, and there are chances that you will not be able to go to your home for dinner because they are expecting so many things from you. So it is going to be like most of the times you'll be having dinner with your friends, not with your family. So that's what they are hinting from this particular line. That's what I feel.
Okay, they are already telling that dude, you don't need to go home to take the dinner. Just have your dinner in the office and debug pandas, right?
Yeah, they could have simply mentioned about lunch, right? But they purposefully chose to mention about dinner because they know that lunch to office pay you will be doing, but dinner also you will be having in office only.
Hmm.
So
Right. Next,
typical intern life, they are expecting it
I am
right.
more
Yeah.
like
next thing is
interested. I am more like on a take. First of all, they are saying like it's a data science internship, and it's an internship, and they are like asking for a master's or a PhD in quantitative computational field operation research, computer science, engineering, applied math, statistics. I would say if a person has all of these degrees, like, are you asking for a job, like a proper full-time job role or like an internship? If you see the whole JD, it's more like some HR is using a lot of like chat GPT kind of a thing, like friends glaze over because you can't stop about over them for dinner kind of a thing. Moreover, like it's a data science internship kind of a work. But if you read the JD, it's more of a full-time, I would say, a very full-time job role with a lot of experience you need. Okay,
right.
why I'm saying so, because they are asking like applied math, statistics, analytics, kind of a life science. If you see, I am not able to understand like how a person from life sciences or a physics can help in data science field. Okay, people have done the transition, but like what actually you are looking for? Either the HR is in itself is a little bit confused, or It's just a random what we call nowadays a ghost posting being done by the company.
Yeah, so even I find it absolutely bizarre when people say that example R SAS MATLAB. Uh, I mean, the first line itself basically creeps me out. The kind of experience they are asking for when they are hiring for an internship role. So internship is more about learning rather than demonstrating something
Right.
actively as a kind of a full time data science person. So if they are asking for an internship, then they should kind of mention something about ability to learn should be there rather than implementing everything of your own. So you're not hiring a director over here rather than you're hiring an intern. So yeah, I mean, they need to understand it. But again, I believe that HR has not taken any sort of effort over here. They are just kind of passed that prompt to ChatGPT, and then they have got it written from there. So they are just asking ChatGPT to mention each and everything from data science universe, and if data science universe contains like 100 terminologies, they will make sure that all the 100 terminologies will be put into the description, irrespective whether they are hiring for an intern or they are hiring for a CEO. So it doesn't matter. So if I'm quite sure that even if you look for a kind of a senior data scientist role, you will find the same JD, and which is apt for that particular position.
Right.
But
Right.
here it just makes a big joke.
And like
Right.
why we are saying like it's a very basically chat GPT or let's say AI written kind of a JD. You can just look it out. Like every sentence is starting with a you kind of a word. Okay, it has like let's say some 12 different pointers. And the amazing part is like they have written it at some seventh or eighth point. You are a prioritized. There are only so many hours in a day, and your friends and family deserve some of it. I don't think so. Like I'm not able to understand what they actually want to say. Like, are you going to enjoy the work, or we are going to make you a slave out of it, so that uh, I don't know, like
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
that
so yeah, see, I got it. I got it. They want to, put emphasis on work-life balance, but the way in which, I mean, it's just kind of a funny thing, right? So at one place they are saying that work-life balance is important, and on the other hand they are asking you to do lot many things. So if you have done like lot many things in first go, then essentially it's very difficult to have both of the things on the plate. Even that contains some sort of problems, right? They even don't claim 100% accuracy. They said that 99% accurate, or it will reduce your health fall, whatever it is, by 99%. Here they are asking for 105% with like peanuts ka salary. So why would I be an intern then? I will be simply a co-founder or CEO then if I know all these things.
Okay. Right, right. It's a big
Yeah,
company,
makes
big
sense.
MNC. Okay, one. If you guys think that 2+ years is very, I guess it's too much. You will be surprised to see the next one. Okay, so we have we have a 2022. Basically, this resume is from San Jose, California, machine learning engineering intern. Okay, now here see this minimum 2 to 5 years of meaningful experience. Okay, so in the previous one they were asking that 2+ years. Here they are saying that okay, even if you are a 5 years of experience, come. Okay, now you guys can also see the requirements here in the experience basically, and they don't have written the working knowledge or understanding of these terminologies. They have properly written experience.
I have seen this kind of posting even in 2019 or 18. So at that time, people used to mention you need to know R, SAS, Python, and I used to feel like it is so difficult to learn all these languages because ChatGPT was not there, right?
Right.
So you were supposed to remember few of the command syntaxes, and then if you are kind of very much comfortable with Python, say for example, you now remember how group by is done in Python. Now, if you switch to SAS suddenly and they ask you to group by in SAS, then you will again have to do a little bit of Stack Overflow. I'm talking from old era, okay? So even I used to get like they are asking for 3 or 4 languages. I'm comfortable in Python at most in R. Now they are asking for like SQL, this that, and then they used to tell us that okay, we are hiring for a person. We know that we'll not have all these skills, but we are trying to hit the best kind of arrow. So we'll at least get a person who knows like at least 2 skills out of 5. That was kind of still a reasonable thought process, but here it has like went out of hands. I mean, I could understand knowing, having knowledge of 2 or 3 languages, or having, say, experience working or building state of art machine learning models. But once they start, talking about large scale distributed systems, Docker containerization, so like you still see some specific roles in industry which only talks about Docker and containerization, which only talk about cloud and infra, which only talk about development, which only talk about database administration. Okay, so there are like specific roles in order to execute these tasks, and now what they are saying is, you just combine a JD of all of them and you just put it for a single person, which is like very very stupid and funny at the same time, I would say.
I mean, I'm not sure.
God knows. I would be interested in meeting a candidate who gets shortlisted in this role. So I would, if I get a chance to meet that person, I would like to interview that person at least one question on all these skills, like one question on scikit-learn, one question on AWS, one question on containerization. I would like to understand whether they qualify all these skills or not. If they are actually, so I should start, taking mentorship from these people who are kind of intern, but who have, good of beating a person with 6 or 10 years of experience as well. So, I would be interested
Okay,
in knowing these people who got shortlisted through this kind of roles.
we have seen two JDs. Okay, the main problem was that they were asking for entry level roles, but the experience they asked was more than like for a, at least for a data scientist or DS1, DS2 level, or kind of a senior data scientist. If you are 5 years of experienced, dude, you deserve a senior data scientist post, not a data science internship, right? The problem is right now is the description, basically the requirements of skills you should have for an entry level data science role, right? And that's a big problem, as Varun was telling that before the chat gpt era, before 2022, before 2020 covid era, people were sure that okay, we are asking for two three things, but if you are knowing one thing, that should be better because you have the basic, you have the knowledge, and you can learn other things. You should have the curiosity to learn. But now things have been completely flipped out in 2025. Okay, it's neither two or three skills, right? You need the complete, like, whatever exists in this whole world in the data science domain, and not just data science domain, data science, data engineering, data analytics, machine learning, and am I missing any other field? So take that as well. Yeah, software engineering, that's very important, right?
Can I share my screen? I wanted to show something. I have just opened the LinkedIn in the course of time. I would just like to show
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff. Like
sure,
just in a
sure, sure.
minute, okay? Sure. Let me just share my screen,
Yeah,
okay? Uh, this is something which is interesting. Okay, so are you able to see my screen?
yeah, it's loading, just a second.
Yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
it's
basically, I have
it's
come to LinkedIn, and this is
yeah,
basically senior software engineer AIML Google Cloud. Okay, so basically, okay. So it's kind of a very huge thing, right? I mean, Google mein job milna is like dream for
right,
every person. And if you see the JD, okay, it is so minimal, right? If you see bachelor's degree or equivalent experience, 5 years of programming experience in one of the languages, 3 years in testing, manipulating, like so many basic things are written over here. Nothing fancy. Okay, if you like look at the preferred qualification, those are like also very very particular about the job, unlike the one which you had showed. I have
right,
something on applied scientist at Alexa, which is like posted by Amazon. If you see here also, they are specifically talking about the things which are to be required. Okay, like preferred qualification, basic qualification. You will not see the variety, rather than you will see the depth in which they are asking for ML experience.
right,
They are not saying that you need to know data engineering, then you need to know data science, you need to know computer vision, nothing like that. They are just asking, you need to have proficiency in software development. Then they will talk about 5 pointers on software development. So this is how you write an IJD. These kind of strong companies are not even asking for too many things. They are just asking for one thing, and that too in too much of depth, which is entirely acceptable. So this is one thing I wanted to show,
right.
like kind of hypocrisy. Like these companies are super focused on what they want from the candidate versus the other side, where they are asking for intern to know all of the things which exist in data science universe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are totally true,
So yeah,
right? Software
yeah,
engineering,
correct.
right? You should have a very good experience in software engineering. So let's try to see one. Now, I had this email, okay, sent by a person, okay, that this is not what I have received, but yeah, one of my friends got this. Okay, so you can see they were sending an email, and then they need a how much relevant experience does a data scientist have? Okay, they are asking for a data scientist role. Now, let's try to read this JD. They want an end-to-end AI builder who can handle everything. Okay, from everything from data pipeline and model training to chatbots, agentic AI deployment. Okay, okay. And then about the experience. Okay, so first they have asked development experience, then agentic AI experience. Okay, then Snowflake, ClickHouse, Databricks experience for data engineering as well. Then for NLP experience, then application AI from software development experience. Okay, then yeah, they have written more things. Firstly, they have previously asked agentic AI experience. Now they have written again agentic AI, Gen AI, LLMs, NLP, AI, ML. Do you have experience in data science, AWS, GCP, API development for SaaS, ML ops for CI/CD, Docker? Again, they have written the same line AWS, GCP, and deploying API from latest frameworks like Fast API and GPRC. Okay, so at this point, what do you guys think about this? Like,
Yeah, I simply have one thing to say. They haven't got the funding for their company, and that's why this is a peak moment when your Series A funding is not approved. So you basically tend to manage everything with a single intern or single data scientist. You are not able to hire an entire department. You just want one person to do everything. That's the only answer I have.
yeah, dude, I just have to say that you need a data scientist, ML engineer, data engineer, backend developer, DevOps engineer, and what salary you are gonna give? Peanuts. So
So I would not even talk about salary. Even if you are paying me like 5 lakhs a month, still this is not justifiable. I mean, see, some things are not comparable with your salary. Salary does not mean you owe me, right? And this is something which no human can perhaps comprehend at first place.
right, because
That's what I assume.
okay, so now even if you think that okay, somehow any human, yeah, I'm not sure a human can do it. Okay, someone comes from other dimension or other planet, and suppose that they have all the skills. Okay, then what happens? Okay, so now there is a ongoing trend also in the companies, not very good companies, of course, but some of the companies like who are the just startups, which are just startups, or people like to or love to say that okay, I'm a open source company, and if you can if you are open source contributor, then that's a good choice for you, good, right? So what they do, they ask for JDs. Okay, they send them assignments, and those are not assignments actually. Okay, that is basically a company work. Okay, they send them company work, and they give some 1 week or 2 week to solve those or do the work. They take the assignments. Okay, they take the code. Okay, and that's it. And then they use these kind of things, whatever I am showing. That's a tweet from someone, Steve the Weaver. So this guy has given 11 technical interviews. Okay, after that his work has been accepted into their code base. Okay, and then they said that sorry, but we have decided to not move forward with your candidacy at this time. Dude, it's freaking 11 interviews. Okay, and then they have asked the assignments code, basically to write the code for us, and then they said that sorry, it's you are not gonna get forward.
Yeah, it's so weird. So this is something which has been happening for few startups where they want to hire a person, but they don't have money to pay that person, so they will just kind of publish a job ad. They know that hundreds of candidates are going to apply, so they will just post that problem statements to those people saying that you have to complete this assignment, and they know that many people will drop out, but they know that like at least one or two will attempt it and they will be able to complete that. So they will just take that work, they will publish it, they will get money from client, and now yeah, it's like our work is over, we are going to ghost you, or we'll just send you a generic rejection mail which will give you trauma for next 2 years. So this is like a constant thing for startups. But like I have my experience where I have like experienced that sort of a thing from a very big consulting organization, and I would definitely not like to take the name over here, but the point is I have had like 7 rounds of interview with them, and everything was sort of finalized. HR told me that we are in very good terms with you, so you can expect your offer letter or something like that, in coming few days. And I didn't hear anything from them. Suddenly one day I got an email saying that your candidature was rejected. It was a huge shock for me. I tried calling HR, but as you know that once you kind of receive the rejection mail, then HR is non-existent. They will not even accept your number calls, and they will not take your messages. So this is what something which happened with me. So this is kind of a very disgusting thing, which happens in job market. It breaks a candidate. That's what I feel. So it's not a good thing for any candidate to experience.
Right. Okay, so yeah, when it comes to interviews, basically companies want to have some internship experience, even if they are hiring for entry level roles. That's necessary. Okay, so that's why from second year, third year in the college, okay, everyone starts recommending that at least get any internship. Okay, get up if you are getting a technical internship, that's very good in any domain, because at least you should have a proper corporate experience, how things works, how the requirements are given, and what are the processes, what are the different departments and all, right? But there's another trend going on in India especially, that if you don't have an internship, there are some companies going on, they ask for some money, and then they give some training tutorials or training modules, and then they call it a proper internship. So I have got one LinkedIn post, okay, and this is a company in India, and so yeah, this post was written by his CEO, and he's simply saying that paid internships are scams, and company, suppose that the company name is X, so X charges money for internships. Okay, so whatever going on in the market, he's trying to justify that. Okay, so he's simply asking that do you get to work on real live projects in your college or institute? The truth is 99% of the students don't, so that is correct. But then he again he's trying to defend that whatever we are doing, okay, that is correct to be called an internship. So what do you think, guys? Is it good to give money and then call it an internship in your resume?
So honestly speaking, it's wrong. I mean, I don't see any problem with the kind of product they are advertising. I find it problematic when they try to kind of associate it with internship. Most of the people will still kind of think that it is going to be an internship which will lead to a permanent job, because they don't know how to differentiate this.
Right,
So they are basically manipulating people. They are kind of selling a different product. They are basically selling you an experience to work with real life data sets or problem statements, but that is a different product. Okay, so they should advertise it like that, saying that we are going to provide you this stuff. But when they kind of call it as an internship, they are basically confusing people. The people who don't who are basically not aware about, people still have a very simple impression about internship. The internship is something, once you do it, you get a certificate, and there are chances that you will get a permanent job after that. So that is a thought which comes to your mind when you hear the word as internship. Okay,
Right.
so they are just kind of misleading people. That's what I assume. I don't have a problem with their product. They can sell any product what they want, but the point is they need to make it clear. They are not supposed to sell it under the hood of internship. They're manipulating people. That's what I feel.
right. Right. Here, so
Yeah, so that's what I
in
feel.
simple words, if we have to say, if companies require experience to get experience, then who's actually going to break the loop? Right. That's the problem. Now, here what happens? Education failed, companies offloaded training, and now students have to pay the bill. So they are paying the bills to get a college degree to the college. They are paying the bills to these kind of companies to get training in the name of internships, and then they also have to pay to actually get like proper interviews. So there's this whole loop coming on, because the company is already saying that if you need to get experience, you should have experience. Now the reality check, why this is happening. HR writes a very generic JD, and they copy paste from senior roles everything, whatever going on in their department or even in their company. Then the JD is basically fear based, and the hiring is also fear based. Again, the next problem is there are a lot of engineers coming out, a lot of engineers, a lot of supply of engineers. Demand is there, but the supply is far greater than demand. And also, that supply is not very good. People who are coming out, they don't have practical experience. They haven't done proper projects. And then there comes the era of Gen AI. So they are not even studying anything. They are just like somehow passing the grades. They are completing their assignments. They are completing their projects without even trying to understand line of code. Now, most of these JDs are not actual real requirements. Okay, they are just trying to filter out as how many people as they can, right? Because the supply is too much. If you post a, it doesn't matter, even if some of us, anyone from us can post a JD, and without writing a company name, without anything mentioning, if you just need to write a title, you will get thousands of resumes in a day, and from good colleges also. I'm talking about NITs, IITs, even you get resume from these colleges as well, because the competition is so high. So what HRs are doing, they are just copy pasting everything they can get. So they just try to, they think that they can filter people, but no, the students are also writing their resumes using chat GPT so they put out everything in the resume.
ATS is having a
Yeah,
difficult time.
nothing is helping. Even ATS is like giving a score 90% to everyone because they have to do. They are just scanning the word. At the end, you have to have a human in the loop to actually get something from the interviewers. Then again, one more thing comes: bots or those kind of applications where you can just say something and it will give you answer, and the interviewer won't be able to see the screen, right? Even if you are screen sharing, that also creates a fear in the minds of HRs or in the minds of hiring manager, that how to filter or how to get a good candidate. Now, as a student, what do you need to do, Varun, from you?
So I believe that uh, there are a plethora of material which is there on internet. Okay, so I will never say that you will lack resources. You just open YouTube and you will find thousands of data science courses, data engineering courses. Material is there in abundance. Okay, the point is students lack clarity or direction.
Right.
Okay, you will have textbooks, you will have material, you will have everything in front of you, but students don't know what is expected, what to work on, and where to start with, or say from where I should begin with. So I would say that if you want to cut this short in a very effective way, then basically you need to have a mentor, okay, who is an industry person. So basically, this person has kind of faced too many challenges in their journey, so they can basically navigate your path to a kind of a specific direction, saying that you don't read this manual of 1,000 pages. Instead of that, you just read chapter one, read chapter 5, chapter 10, and so on, because that is something which is expected in industry. So that what happens is you tend to kind of invest your energy in doing something productive and constructive which is utilized in industry, rather than doing some unnecessary nonsense things, okay, which are never going to be accepted or expected in industry roles. Okay, so that is something which happens because you don't know what is
Right.
expected. So I would say that first thing is, instead of chasing material or resources, try to chase a mentor. Let it be a paid one, let it be your senior bhaiya area ka software senior wala koi banda, koi uncle, chacha, mama, and it could be anyone. But try to have a mentor in your life. Okay, so that is up to you how you are going to arrange that, but at least try to find a mentor. Your life will be easy and your life will be sorted.
Right.
Okay, then second thing is, try to make most use of AI. So that is like one of the important thing I would like to point out. AI is not there to solve your assignments for free. So because it is basically uh, distracting you from learning something productive, it's just helping you by giving you answers to basic questions, and you feel that I have passed my exam through like wonderful grades. But it's not the case actually. So make most use of AI in a constructive way, not to pass your exams, but rather than have conversation threads with AI where you want to understand an explanation about, say, for example, linear regression. You want to understand how linear regression works. I always quote that you can just take help of AI over here. Do not trust AI blindly, because AI can give you wrong answers about linear regression. Always cross validate, but the point is you can at least ask as many doubts as you want, which you may not ask to your teacher, because teacher has some limitations, that those things happen. So this is the second point. And third point is basically, do not just read or watch rather than build. Okay,
Right.
you start building AI agents, you start building basic projects. So project going through projects will give you a lot of exposure. You will face a lot many errors. Okay, you will feel frustrated, but at the end, once you solve this error, you will understand that this is how a software works in the back end. Okay, whatever you are able to see in YouTube tutorials, that has been already rehearsed and researched before creating that video. So all of the commands which they are just writing in front of you, all of these are working. But in industry, you're not going to face such scenarios. You will be facing a scenario where you will be asked to create something out of that particular package, which is very difficult to create. So try to play with those things, try to build those things by your own, and then only you'll be going to get that exposure. So like these three things I would suggest.
So, if you are a company watching this, please understand entry level doesn't mean cheap senior talent. Okay. You either train people or complain that talent doesn't exist. For everyone else, like, comment worst JDs you have ever seen and subscribe for more real data talk. Thank you, Rakshit. Thank you, Varun.